Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. Pat, the designer, John Jurkovic in the building. Jurko, Caleb Williams has been named NFC Player of the Week. I want to talk about some numbers that would tell you that it's a little bit more than just a week, that you truly are seeing growth in the quarterback. And, of course, we got to talk about this upcoming game that you're going to be in attendance at. A little Vegas trip for you, good kid.
Well, I'll be at Las Vegas, but I won't be at the game.
Oh, you're not doing the game?
No, I'll be there for the pregame. I'll be there for the tailgate. I'll be there for all the fun stuff and the activities. But once the game starts, I'll be back at the hotel in a sports book, checking out all the action the Chicago Bears have to have, and then ready to go back right into the studio post-game.
Oh, yeah.
To make things happen out in Las Vegas. So that's on my agenda.
A little Vegas post-game. Represent the family well out there, good kid. The post-game family. Post doesn't get to go.
Yeah.
We didn't get blessed with,
I got it.
The ticket.
Well, here's the dilemma. I get back here at like 5:35 in the morning.
You doing it overnight?
And then straight, the red eye, taking a red eye back. So straight here after that. Straight to the station to do the Monday morning show. Yeah. And then after that, boom, back to where I'm at and what I'm doing.
Back in business.
Get a little bit of sleep. I mean, I can sleep on planes, so it's not an issue for me.
Yeah.
I'll get on the flight and I'll just leave my head over and I'll go to bed. Not a problem.
Yeah. You a flight pillow guy, or you just
no pillow.
Raw dog in the window there?
There ain't no pillow.
All right.
Raw dog the middle of the pillow, lean forward. I'll do whatever I have to do to shut my eyes and get some sleep.
I respect it. We'll talk about all that and more in today's episode of the Chicago Bears podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do as always. Today's episode brought to you by the Advantage Dealer Group. Find your next Chevy, Toyota, or Acura and drive off in under 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. Also brought to you by the Hard Rock Casino in Northern Indiana. Las Vegas style gaming if you're like me and you can't go to Vegas. Just 30 minutes from Soldier Field, exit 6, I-80-94. Yerk, you want to tell us about Mitch Lyons, a little Mitch Lyons conversation?
Absolutely. Mitch Lyons Wealth. Go there, MitchLyonsWealth.com. The game plan for retirement. Win, grow, all about retirement. He wants to give you that game plan to make things 100% right for you. And you're in the red zone right now.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the red zone of your retirement, so go ahead and make those things, make those right decisions, get that right advice, MitchLyonsWealth.com. And I'm sure he's happy Detroit has bounced back for himself and for his guys, because he's a big Detroit fan growing up in Michigan. He was. So, MitchLyonsWealth.com.
I do like that. Listen, I like the Chicago Bears podcast, FDT, all that in the chat. I understand it. I do like that Dan Campbell kind of came out and basically told everybody, like, I'm not the idiot you think I am, and just because Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn were here, I still can find the next guys that can make this work. I like when you see a coach do that, the John Harbaughs and stuff like that.
There's coaches that have been doing it over the course of 20, 30 years. Yeah. Andy Reid's first job was 99, and he stayed with Philadelphia for the better part of 13, 14 years, got fired from there.
Yeah.
And then ends up going to Kansas City and ends up building a dynasty over there. And he's had to plug coaches, and he's lost coaches, and you got to find coaches, and that's what it's about. So good for, Dan Campbell being able to do the same thing. And guess what? He'll probably end up losing these guys again in 2 years when these guys become successful, and he's going to have to find the next group. So good for him.
Yeah, I think people look at it differently when it's, Dan's probably got a ton of input, but he's not the one per se calling the plays on the field. And I think a lot of times, right, the Harbaughs and stuff like that, when you look at those guys, you kind of think of those, or Mike Tomlin even, right? Just you're the manager of the situation. So I love that he's become one of those guys. Mm-hmm. On the Chicago Bears, though, Caleb Williams named NFC Player of the Week. Haven't had a chance to talk to you about the game on the podcast. Jurko, what'd you see in the game that you liked from Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams, I should say the Bears defenses have now been on the field for the last 3 NFC Offensive Players of the Week. Fortunately for this one, it was their teammate that ended up getting it. So congratulations go out to Caleb Williams. I thought he was sharp. I mean, overall, if you take a look at it, he was sharp. He had a nice high QB rating. He hit the plays, the big plays that he was supposed to get. I think it's a great way to build confidence against the Dallas defense that's not good. Everybody on this football team could use something positive. They found it in that game against the Dallas Cowboys. So good for him. I hope it helps Caleb. I hope, Dunze's got some good stats going up there now.
I love it.
It was good to see DJ Moore get a touchdown. I don't think he's necessarily 100% happy with the way things are going for him. But Zachariah Heap, my guy number 14, Zacchaeus, I
was like,
he's
where
got
we going here?
Yeah, he's getting as many looks and as many targets as DJ Moore is. So you've got your 2 and 3 receivers that are getting a good chunk of change and good share of looks. The running backs are doing well. The tight ends not so much, but if you look, other teams are more efficient with their tight end targets. I like what our tight ends did better than what Jake Ferguson did.
Yeah.
So he caught 13 balls, but he caught 13 balls for like 6 yards a catch. It doesn't really blow you out of the water by any stretch. So, I like what they're doing. I like their running game. People want to complain about their running game. They want to complain about this. As long as you're making an attempt to run the ball and you convince the other team that you're willing to run the ball. They ran 11 straight times in the 19-yard drive that ended in a touchdown. If the other team believes that you want to run the ball, then that play-action stuff's going to work, and I think the play-action stuff worked well for the Chicago Bears and for Caleb Williams. So hopefully they find a way to replicate it. I don't think Las Vegas is a very good football team. You go out there in a professional manner. You put a game plan together. You give the effort that you gave the other day, and I think the Bears can find a way to come out victorious in Vegas. Not all the games are going to be pretty. They're not all going to be fantastic. But just find a way to win, and then you get 2 weeks before your next game against Washington on a Monday night. It's going to be retribution. I am sure you're going to see the play from last year.
A million times.
Yeah, a million times.
You're heading out to Vegas. What's an over-under on that?
Right.
Just right before the game.
I mean,
40?
Jaden Daniels didn't play last week, right? Mariota.
Jaden Daniels did not play, may not play this week.
So it'll be interesting to see how it ends up working. That game's a long way away. So let's just get Vegas, let's get into Vegas. Let's be professionals. Let's go out there, perform at a high level. It should be 60-40 Bears fans out there. We'll see if that holds true. And then just go out there and play a solid game. I mean, I don't care if you win 28-27, if you win 31-3. It doesn't matter how you win as long as you find a way to win.
What is the mindset kind of in the locker room when you beat an opponent like the Bears did, but as you said, you kind of know they didn't have it. They had no shot against us in that game.
Well, I thought their offense had a shot. I thought their offense moved the football. Yeah. I thought their offense was going to hang with the Bears, and the Bears were going to have to outscore them.
Right.
And then the takeaway started. You held them to 2 field goals. They got a touchdown. They went for a 2-point conversion.
They tied the game
got
up 14-14.
Yeah. So I thought that's the way the game was going to be the whole way. And then you started taking the football away defensively. You started building some confidence defensively. So that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Your defense turns the tide on you. 4 turnovers. The strip fumble by Stevenson.
I think that started it all for you.
Sure.
I mean, you got an opportunity to go up and keep your foot on their necks, and I think we haven't seen the Bears team do that probably since Jacksonville of last year. Like
Probably.
we haven't seen a Bears team actually close out a hey, we've got this game situation. So I thought that was something really to build on.
2 interceptions by Edmonds.
Yep.
It's good to see Edmonds show up. Guy gets paid a lot of money. He had 4 interceptions his first season here.
Yep.
So he was doing certain things on the football field, and one of them, the length that he does have, he did show it in his first year here. I thought last year was an absolutely brutal year for him. It was a brutal year for the Bears. At least he showed up now, and hopefully he continues to show up for the Chicago Bears.
Is the story heading into this week, maybe you found something defensively that you didn't know you had with how they utilized Edmonds and stuff in the scheme?
So what I think what I think is happening is they're gaining confidence in who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're missing players. They're missing 6.
Yeah.
They're missing 53. Is 53 T.J. Edmonds?
T.J. Edwards, yes. 53.
So you're missing 53. You're working the rookie defensive tackle into the mix
DeMar
in the
Turner,
middle.
Yep. He was barking at Tyler Booker.
55. I don't know if 55 necessarily had a fantastic game. I'm still waiting for a consistent pass rush shot of him, and for him to really show up on the on the tape.
Consistent.
I don't know if I saw that yet. So this team is going to have to fight and scratch early on, especially defensively. I think that the offense was behind the defense all year. I think the offense is ahead of the defense right now.
Yeah.
in the regular season. It's great that they struggled early. Now they're in front. But I think this defense is trying to play a little bit of catch-up. And if 6 ever gets back out there and 53 gets back out there, and maybe toward the latter portion of the year, number 1 will get back, hopefully the Bears will still be in the mix, will still be fighting for something when you get down there. Their tough stretch is still ahead of them. So I think they're just searching for confidence, the defense right now.
Yeah.
And when they got a chance to pin their ears back when it was up and they went into a must-pass situation, then you saw their pass rush kind of come to the forefront and it looked like they're actually getting some pressure on Dak Prescott. So that's usually what ends up happening when you're up double digits.
Yeah.
And a team has to throw the ball. Usually your pass rush comes to the forefront, and it did for the Chicago Bears.
Is that this defense's recipe to success, essentially like, hey, offense, you go out there and you give us a lead and we can go out there and play our style of football, I guess, kind of? Or is that?
So I always say the defense is responsible for getting themselves off the field. The best thing they did was hold the team to field goals this week.
Yes.
And then they started the turnovers. So that's fine. That's how you got to play it. That's how you got to play it. But nobody is responsible for the defense to play well but the defense. Can your offense help you by staying on the field? Sure. Can they have a 19-play drive where you're sitting over there and the team goes, oh, man, if we can't stop them, we've got to score now, and maybe they start to do more desperate things on the offensive side of the ball against the Bears defense? Maybe. But you can't rely on that. The defense has to rely upon themselves to make things happen.
Yeah.
And if you get help from the offense, that's fantastic. You know, there's going to be a point in time where the offense struggles. You're going to be looking for the defense to help them.
Yeah.
So you're relying upon each other, and hopefully the special teams can do something. You saw special teams do a lot this past weekend.
Yeah.
Blocked field goals, made field goals from big distances.
A couple scooping scores
punt
out
returns,
there.
punt returns, all types of good stuff happening out there. So the special team's going to have to become a part of this thing too.
I love that my husband's so handy. He leaves more money for the important stuff. Gosh darn it, Steve.
Don't be like Steve. Call Avondale Roofing. DIY is for Pinterest, not your roof.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think heading into Vegas, the Bears have a great opportunity to continue to build, as you said, some of the confidence. And I'll be honest with you, Jurk, like I know we're always zoomed in on the Caleb Williams. You know, what is he doing? This isn't good enough to win a game. But when you zoom out, him winning this NFC Player of the Year over the NFC Player of the Week. I'm sorry.
You're getting a little ahead of yourself there, champ.
That's called what do you call it? That's future. Future hoping, sure. I guess we'll say on that. NFC Player of the Year. Let's see.
This is all we're hoping for is replication of performance.
Well, and that's what I was going to say.
That's it. Just repeat performances.
Last 15 games, Caleb Williams, 19 touchdowns, 3,500 plus yards, only 2 interceptions in that time span, QBR of 90 plus. You're starting to see, I feel like this is, people are going to say it was one game versus a bad defense. I don't think this is one game versus a bad defense. It's one game you care about because it's one of the 2 games that he's won in the last.
So quarterback rating is different than QBR. So his quarterback rating is 90 plus. QBR is the idiotic stat that ESPN created, where they reverse engineered something and put too much of an emphasis on winning a game as opposed to quarterback performance created by Trent Dilfer and some other bean counters that nobody gives a rat's ass about. So his quarterback rating has been 90 plus.
Yes.
It's the stat that I'd prefer to take a look and compare quarterbacks to, besides that other faulty stat, which I don't give a rat's ass about. He's looked good, but there's still opportunities and there's still things for him to do. You talk about the interceptions. Part of the problem with Caleb Williams is his unwillingness to take any risks whatsoever. Part of it is not wanting to throw to a guy that's not completely wide open. There's throws to be made out there, and he doesn't make those throws. You'll know he's taken the next step when he starts making those throws.
You feel like we've seen that this year still?
In tight coverage. Yeah. Your first 2 games, yes, he wasn't going to throw the ball to guys that were open. For some crazy reason, he didn't want to do it. So I think they're slowly but surely convincing him that those are the plays that need to be made.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to continue to try to help Caleb Williams get there. Because let me tell you, the best case scenario is for Caleb Williams to play well, continue to develop, for them to extend him after his 3rd year. This is only his 2nd year.
Right.
For them not to, but to pick up the 5th-year option and have the confidence to pick up the 5th-year option. And then Caleb Williams becomes a quarterback for the Chicago Bears for 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
That's your best case absolute scenario, you finally get a quarterback that gets paid $40 million a year in Chicago because you've never had one.
And it's worth it.
That's made that kind of money. Yeah.
You had Jay Cutler as the highest paid quarterback, but it didn't
And
feel
it's worth it. That way you can use your draft choices for left tackles. You can use your draft choices for pass rushers coming off the corner. You can use your pass rushers for running back in the 3rd to 4th round.
We'll see.
I've got no problem with that.
We got punters in the 4th still, Jurko.
Well, you ain't got to – listen.
We'll see if we start using them in the right place.
He's drafted 2 punters.
He
hasn't drafted one. He drafted one in the 4th and one in the 7th. So you ain't got to tell me nothing about nothing. I already know. I've already seen it. So,
but I get what you're saying. The hope is that you have some of these draft picks locked down that you can pay, where you can utilize your draft picks for important positions on the field. Yeah.
Right. You know what you have. You know what you've got. And you have a quarterback that's going to be your quarterback for an extended period of time. Doesn't mean you're not drafting quarterbacks. I draft a quarterback every other year, just for the sake of cost, because your backup quarterback agent costs you $5 million a year.
Yep.
A rookie quarterback's only going to cost you $670,000 a year. So you'd rather have that over the course of time, and maybe you hit on one of these guys and you can move them the way the Green Bay Packers used to hit on quarterbacks, and they hit on a lot.
Yeah.
They hit on Ty Detmer. They hit on Mark Brunell. They traded for Brett Favre. They had Kurt Warner in camp.
Yep.
Was afraid to take snaps, didn't want to get in there. But Kurt Warner, they identified him as a quarterback that looked like he had some talent. They had Aaron Brooks there. They had Tim Hasselbeck there.
Yep.
And they turned a bunch of those guys into more draft choices coming back. So if you can do it and you've got a quarterback that looks like he might be able to play, somebody might be willing to trade for him. Seattle traded for Hasselbeck. New Orleans traded for
Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah,
you went Tim Hasselbeck.
Yeah, whichever Hasselbeck. Whichever one played up there was drafted by Green
Matt
Bay.
Hasselbeck.
Matt Hasselbeck. Brooks went to New Orleans. They had the one guy that went to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Castle.
No, it wasn't Castle. No. Castle came from New England.
That's New England, yeah.
They had another guy that went. No, he went to Seattle with Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson was drafted in the draft in whatever round he was taken, and they had signed a free agent, Matt Flynn. Another Green Bay guy. And Brunell was traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars before the 1995 season. So they turned all those guys into draft choices.
Yes.
Where they can go ahead and take whoever. Jordy Nelson might have been a result of one of those picks. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
You don't know. I can't just mentally go back in time without taking a look and finding out. But they turned some of those guys into players.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad philosophy either to have out there. So, but hopefully they hit on this guy. Hopefully they Burden look good. Colson Loveland for the one play that he had and the one play he caught before he got banged up on the hip a little bit. And I don't know if he's got hip pads on either. Some of these guys don't want to wear all the pads. If you're wearing a hip pad and you get hit on the spot you got hit, you probably aren't hurt and you're probably not injured. But because they don't look cool and they don't look fancy, let me not wear knee pads and let me wear my pants up to my mid-thigh. I mean, come on.
Little mid-thigh pants?
My heavens.
You're not here for the uniforms, Jurko.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And hopefully DJ Moore buys into this squad. I think different guys are going to catch different amount of passes every single week.
Yes.
And there's going to be a game that DJ Moore is going to be the featured artist, and he's going to end up with 8-9 balls, and he's going to have 130-yard catches. Everybody's going to get their turn. It depends what the opposing team wants to do to you defensively to try to take you away, and then all of a sudden other options become open. So
wouldn't how DJ Moore is blocking downfield and things like that tell you that he's bought in on how this is going though? Because it's not like he's going weak.
Yeah, on some plays, it looks like he's bought in. Yes.
Yeah.
On some plays.
You're saying not all the time.
On other plays, not as much. Yeah. So either you are or you aren't.
Right.
So if you're not at all during 2-3 plays, then that's what you get judged on. That's if I find out if you're in or not. You're 100% in or you're not in.
Right.
So I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think DJ is. I think people look at the Caleb shaking him on the side. I keep telling you, I'm like, that's his face. Like, I do respect Ben Johnson also coming in and saying, fix your face. You know what the judgment on you is going to be because of that. But I really think that, when I saw some of the discourse on the Twitter where it was just
like
X
I said,
or whatever,
yeah.
where it's like,
if he
well,
plays,
Caleb's got to make him smile. He's not happy in the situation. I'm like,
it doesn't have
what
to
he
be.
looks like.
Listen, he doesn't have to be happy. You're
Yeah.
a professional. You're getting paid.
Yeah.
You come in and you give your 100% period. It doesn't make a difference if you're happy or not.
Yeah. You feel like we're not getting that out of him on a consistent
Well,
basis.
on a 100% level.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's 60 plays in a game, and say 5 of them you're not giving me 100%, then you're not giving me 100%.
Right.
And I can't have 90%. It's no good.
That's how you build winners.
Give me
That's how you
100%.
build
I
consistent
gotta have it
winners.
all the time, not some of the time.
Let's finish it out with this year. Bears heading out to Vegas here. Another opportunity to improve. What do you want to see get better from week 3? That was a good week heading into week 4.
Pass rush. I'd like to see the pass rush get a little bit better. I would like to see early on the Bears defense involved. And listen, if you can't play the run, you can game plan the run defense a little bit differently. You can slant. You can crash one side and have the linebackers plus and over and being able to get outside so nobody can get on them. You've got to be able to do some destructive stuff. Don't just stand there and absorb. There's a way to make your defense a little bit better than it actually is. So let's try to do it. You don't necessarily have to blitz to get to the quarterback, but every once in a while you might have to. And so I'd like the defense to play better early.
Yeah.
And I just would like the offense to quit throwing the ball laterally.
Is that how
Don't
they're
throw the
trying
ball
to
laterally.
extend the run game, though?
I don't want to extend the run game. And the DJ Moore in the backfield stuff can stop.
Yeah.
It can stop. They ran a trap play on the inside, and he ended up bouncing it outside the trap play where everybody was being blocked to, and it doesn't make any sense. He's a receiver. Let him receive the ball. If you want to run him in a reverse, if you want to run him in some of that jet motion, run him out of the stuff that you run him out of and when he's a wide receiver. I do not need to see him in the backfield. You got 2 running backs right now that you've committed to. Commit to them.
Yeah.
Swift and Mononge. Kyle Mononga, whatever his name is.
So I'm a big Mononga.
No, doesn't matter to me. Just commit to those guys. Let your receivers be receivers.
Yeah.
And let's do it that way.
You don't want a Debo Samuel situation going on here. You'd rather have just the receiver.
Right. I like the trickeration. I like the fancy plays. I think they're exciting plays. They get you guys into it, especially when you make them happen.
Yeah.
The reverse to Zachariah Heap. To Zacharias, I thought that was a fun little play. Get him to reverse, get the ball in his hands. A receiver running the ball out of a receiver position, which is the way I want to see it.
Little end-around action.
Yeah.
I think what Ben's trying to do with that is set something up where you can get a pass. We saw him do some of that in training camp, where out of that same formation, DJ Moore now is all of a sudden wide open in the flats or something like that, and Caleb can get the ball to him. But I get it. It hasn't, I'll say this, through 3 weeks it hasn't worked for anything impactful, it feels like, unless you're planning on hitting something down the road.
They don't play me at safety on the defense. You don't take a defensive lineman and put him back there and put him as a safety.
You were in coverage a couple of times, though.
Yeah,
you had Jay Rice, didn't you?
But that's as a backer.
Yeah.
That wasn't as a safety. I don't want my wide receivers playing running back.
Yeah.
There's no need for it. It's unnecessary. So
is Ben Johnson doing a good job scheming this offensive line?
I think it's
right now.
First of all, I don't think you can judge Ben Johnson on anything until you get more games. Mm-hmm. Somebody asked me about Shamar Turner. What do you think? He had 20-some-odd plays. It's not enough plays to be able to judge anything for anybody. I said, give me 6-7 games. Let me go back and dissect everything to see how he plays, how well he uses his hands, what do his feet look like when he's moving. Is he turning his shoulders? Is he running? You can't have it with 23 short plays to know whether that's something he does all the time, whether that's a bad habit he developed. So I just say it's too early to be able to judge anybody. November 1st, November 15th, something like that, you can kind of take a look and say, all right, hey, this is what could improve. This is what could improve. That might be able to improve. Yeah. They do it on an everyday basis because they have to and they get paid.
Right.
So they've got to be able to judge everybody all the time. But
you don't have that judgment just yet.
We get to have patience. We get to take a look from a distance because they got to correct every day.
Right.
So that's why they look at it every day. They correct every day. We just adjudicate from afar.
feels like they're correcting. You know what I mean? From week 1 to where we were at to week 3.
Right. I mean,
it feels like you're seeing some of those corrections play out.
You played a great defense in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You played a pretty good defense in Detroit.
Yeah.
You played a lousy defense against Dallas. So yeah.
So as the defense,
everybody has the natural tendency to go, woo! Look at what we did. Yeah, we did it against a terrible defense.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. Now we're going to play against Vegas. I don't know what kind of defense they have. I got to go take a look at the stats to find out what my expectations are for this football team offensively. And then we'll find out. We only scored 7 points in the fourth quarter, but I think we're worried also about just getting out of the game. There comes a point in time where you got points on the board. You're like, all right, what we need to do is get the time off the clock. We just need to win this game.
Yeah.
Especially after they had a double-digit lead in the first game and they lost.
And that's what it felt like when you had that 19-play drive. I thought that was two-front, Jurko. Yeah. You went in with 11 minutes time of possession because you had some quick hitters and the defense didn't get off the field.
That was in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Heading out of the first half into the second half, you only had 11 minutes time of possession.
Sure.
I thought that 19-play drive was, let's let the defense breathe for a second.
Well,
they've been on the field for a long time.
Well, but
you
you also had halftime for the guys to rest.
Yeah.
So, it's third quarter. The guys rested for 12, 14 minutes at halftime. So they're well rested for the second half. But it's good to see they committed to the run.
Yeah.
It's good to have a 19-play drive on the resume. First of all, it shows what? It shows that you can execute for 19 straight plays. It shows that you didn't get a penalty for 19 straight plays. It shows that you can't commit to the run and get exactly what you need to. You can convert on third down when you have to.
Yep.
So it does show you a ton of stuff in a 19-play drive that you can go and take a look at it and get enough positives of it and say, hey, take a look at what we did here. And then I also think that's one of those drives that kind of breaks the back of the opposing team.
Yeah.
After that
finishing with 7 on that was massive.
Yes. So, and they went for it on 4th and 2 at the end of that, and they
they did.
DJ Moore for the touchdown, right? So they even went for it on 4th and 2. They've established it early on, 4th downs, we're going to go for this thing, and then they continue to do it. This time they succeed. They put a touchdown on the board. They make DJ Moore happy, which is even better. DJ Moore is now happy. Good for him.
Let's finish it out with this good kid. What's your prediction for this? Are the Bears going into the bye 2-2 or 1-3?
No, I think they're going 2-2. Bowers is banged up a little bit. Yeah. They haven't been able to get Ashton Genty off because I don't think their front line is exceptional. Geno Smith leads the league in passing yards. So I think he's
also up there in sacks.
He's still got the ability, to get the ball, get the ball down the field. And he's playing a team that's not great at getting sacks.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see the dichotomy work out on Sunday on which one's going to kind of take place. If the Bears are up and they got to throw, I think the Bears get to the quarterback. If the game is close and the Bears got to play the run as much as they got to play the pass, I don't know how much pressure we're going to have on the quarterback. So it'll be see which way it ends up breaking during the game.
Are we to a point where you want to see a little more blitz out of Dennis Allen?
No.
I
don't have to have a blitz. I'd like to see some productive games up front.
Yeah.
Maybe a game with somebody coming off the corner, popping somebody free. That'd be nice, but no, not necessarily. I don't need an all-out blitz, especially when you don't have Jalen Johnson back there. You don't have number 6 back there.
Right. You need your coverage.
We don't necessarily have to go crazy. When you get 6 back, you get 53 back.
Jalen may be back at some point.
We didn't mention it, but I thought Stevenson was phenomenal.
Yeah. I thought he set the tone.
I think, with the one play, but I'm talking about his coverage.
His coverage as well, yeah.
I mean, that was a great play, taking the ball away, but his coverage specifically, after being abused by Amon St. Brown, I think he kind of stepped up and knew that he had to be better in coverage, and he was.
Yeah,
and he was.
And I know, listen, George Pickens is not CeeDee Lamb, but George Pickens is also not.
Well, George Pickens is a good player.
A bottom 5 receiver in the NFL. Like that is a good receiver.
He's not the 5th receiver on any team.
Yes. I see people like, well, they lost CeeDee Lamb, so of course Tyreek was better. George Pickens is a good receiver. Yeah. He's just a headache at times.
Yep.
So
and how'd they get him hurt, right? CeeDee Lamb's running out of a running back position, right? And he got hurt. So, see, good for them. I mean, I feel sorry for CeeDee Lamb, but good for them. That's what you do when you want to screw around and be too fancy. Keep your wide receivers in the wide receiver spots.
That's a great way to finish. Hey, Bears Nation, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the good kid, John Jurkovic, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Bears dub, or are we going in 1-3 versus Washington? Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.